The question in the little behind the scenes pre-show was, have you ever wondered, how do you get to figuring out the heart of the matter when it comes to timing your move, like the heart of timing your move?
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
I'm Yetta Decker.
And I'm Ken Decker.
Yeah, and together we form a small part of the Decker team, and we're excited to welcome you back to another episode of the Inside Track, where we share techniques, thoughts, and tools that we all need. We all deserve. You, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home where our families thrive and we live the best life possible.
That's what I want to do. I want to live the best life possible.
I think you are.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't know if it's where I am at. Where I live right now, is that serving my life the best possible? Maybe I've got too much money tied up in my house and I want to free it up for ministry. Maybe I've got too much money going into my house and I can't live the life that I want.
Somebody was just chatting with me today about their utility costs.
Oh, yeah.
And it was an older home. And sometimes with an older home with high ceilings and not access to natural gas or the least expensive method of heating, it's 2 to 3 times what it might be in the same amount of floor space, in a different layout, with a different amount of insulation, with a different amount of heat. Those are a lot of variables.
Yes. And it hasn't even been super cold.
No.
The whole winter.
Right. So that whole idea of how do we figure out the time? When is it time? And how do we get to the heart of the time conversation? Because so often people say, is spring the time to move? Well, if that's when it's best for you to move.
Right. So what you're really saying is sometimes we try to make a decision in our head.
Right.
And really, we should be listening to our heart.
And how do we get to that heart?
And the weird thing is you got to use your head
to get to your heart. Kind of interesting. So we're actually going to do something very different. On this show, you're going to learn a method about how to ask yourself actually one question. It's one simple little, it's actually a 5-word question.
Wow.
5-word question, really. And then you're filling in one little element into the middle of that 5-word question. So we're going to go through it today and actually have Ken go back 6 years.
You think my memory's that good?
I think it's great. And he did not actually do this exercise at the time.
No, I didn't.
And it'll be interesting to see if we would have still made the move when we made the move and what the real rationale was for making it. And then you can use this methodology for anything.
So what if we shouldn't have moved here?
Well, we're here and I'm loving it. I'm pretty sure it was the right move. I did do a similar exercise and I'm pretty convinced. And there were some extenuating circumstances that made it make sense at the time.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you know what? I'm a little afraid of this exercise because maybe then it'll be time to move.
Well, we're about to find out in real time. So, Ken,
yes,
we're actually going to let you write things down today.
Yes, I have my pens.
He has his pens. And we start the exercise by generally using a blue pen. Or you can do it in an iPad where you've got the ability to change the color of your pens. You could type it without color, but if you type it, well, even on a computer, you can just change the text color. I would encourage you to change the text color. For the actual question, you could use blue, purple, or you could use green. The rationale between the 3 colors.
Yeah, what's the rationale there?
Blue is calming.
Okay.
And so sometimes when we ask ourselves reflective questions, it can create a little bit of anxiety. So by using blue, it reduces the...
Oh, that's what I'm feeling right now is the anxiety of knowing you're going to ask me deep questions.
I know, I love it. And then, or you could use purple, which is that spiritual, royal color. So surrendering it to God. When I see purple, I often think about surrender. So you could use that, or green because it's all about growth. Recognizing that when we answer a question like this, it is a growth opportunity.
See, and when I think of green, I think of money.
Right. So then it works for that too. Because a lot of the things you're going to ask yourself may have a financial implication. Even if it's just a time implication, it's amazing how much of it translates.
Yes.
Like even the example around the heat
Yes.
in a house. All right. So then we're going to move on to black pen and red pen. So you're actually going to need all
So I'm
three
going to
colors.
start with black.
Well, now that we've written the question, and his question is, what's important about moving to the house in Manotick for you, Ken? So the framework of the question is, what's important about, 3 words. Got it? 3 words. What's important about? Then leave a blank, because you can do this for anything, but we're going to encourage you, if you're thinking about a move, that you would fill in that right there around what timing am I looking for, or moving to a particular location, putting that in. And then the last 2 words is to you with a question mark. Does the question mark equal a word, or is that just punctuation?
That's punctuation.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
Perfect. So what's important about moving to Manotick, to this house that we're now living in, to you, Ken? And number 1 question is at the bottom of the page. So I will actually, for all my YouTube and website friends, show a little picture of our nice scribbly, just ink drawn on the page. That's how you would set it up. So number 1 at the bottom of your page, and then move your numbers up 1 to 4 in black, and then 5, 6, and 7 are going to be red.
Okay, we didn't practice this, so I'm a little nervous.
I know. Let's go. So,
right.
Ken, what's important about moving to this house in Manotick to you?
I've always liked Manotick.
Perfect.
And for many years, our office was in Manotick, the one that we worked out of. So it felt like if I lived here, I'd be close to work.
Perfect. So what about liking being in Manotick, specifically in a place that you worked in for many years? What about that was important to you?
Well, it's closer drive, and I get to spend more time at home.
Okay, so more time at home?
Yeah.
What's important about having more time at home
Well,
to you?
yeah. Well, I think of home as a sanctuary. It's a place that I come to relax, to be creative, to have hospitality. So the homes in Manotick are larger, typically, than some areas, or at least where we were living before.
Right.
So moving to Manotick meant a bigger home. Yeah.
Okay, and closer drive. You kind of said 2 things there. You had more time in the house. So what was important to you about having a bigger house and more time?
Well, it did a couple things. It allowed me to have more family events and also friends over.
So more time with family and friends.
Yeah, and more of them. Because of the bigger rooms, we can have, a dinner for 30 and seat everybody in one room kind of thing.
Right. Okay, perfect. So what we've just done is gotten halfway through the exercise. And this is kind of cool, because we're going to let you jot down, if you haven't had the opportunity, grab your piece of paper, grab your pen, unless you're driving, then don't please, and write down your question. What's important about something to you, and then just number the page accordingly. And then we're going to come back to the second half, or next segment, and we'll do it. So your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart, because he who looks outside dreams, and who looks inside awakens. Kind of cool.
Yeah, that's by Carl Jung.
Exactly. So we're grateful to be your partners in building wealth through real estate.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.